So here we go then, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Kings of Anglia Track the Girls Talk podcast, which is proudly sponsored by John Fowler's Solicitors. Big up Mike Kennedy, as always, for his support. And we're back for another great show. The big kickoff is fast approaching. Pre-season is done and dusted. I'm here, of course, with Town Women skipper Blue Wilson and Soper Megan Waring at the back, heading, kicking, doing all the things. Great to have you back, Megan, of course. But Blue, let's bring you in. How you doing? It's been a while since we've done a pod, but we've been waiting to just get some stuff to talk about, and pre-season is done and dusted.
Yeah, I'm just getting the rust off. I was about to say I'm doing good, but I always say I'm doing good, so I'm trying to think of other words to use. I would say, yeah, life is good. Obviously, I'm going to address the elephant in the room, obviously not back on the pitch yet, as people listening will have seen in pre-season, which isn't ideal. So that's been, I think I mentioned on the pod last time, it's been a bit bumpy. And those bumps seem to continue. So that's the latest on that. But other than that, I'm all good. Studying as per, the usual. But excited for the season to kick off. How are you doing, Ross? And bring in Megan if you want after you've answered that question.
I'm fine. I'm just fine. And
Okay.
Enough about me. It's all about Meg. Great to have you back on the pod. I think it's nearly a year. I think we brought you on, I think, in the early stages of last season, maybe at a time when, of course, we didn't start the season great. So I was like, oh, come on, Meg, come on. We're not done well, but come on. But it's great to have you back on and have a good pre-season under your belt. How's things?
Yeah, I'm all good. It's good to be back. Like you said, it has been a little bit of a while. Got a year football under my belt now, heading into the second year. So finished school as well, so enjoying a little break where I feel like a footballer. I'm just playing football at the moment. But yeah, no, life's all good.
That's good to hear. And actually, before we go on to pre-season as a whole, let's talk about you, Meg. As you said, 1 year of football under your belt, senior football, playing Tier 3 football. How do you look back at last season? Supporters Player of the Year. Was it Supporters Player of the Year? The Supporters Player of the Year, wasn't it? Yeah. So that's that must have been a great, achievement straight away off your first season. And you've got fan group, of course. Shout out to your mum and dad, of course. Your dad leading the drums. But how do you look back at last season?
I think obviously last season was a massive season for me. A lot of firsts for me last season. At the very beginning of pre-season, I thought, I'm getting to train with the first team. This is exciting. And I got chucked on against Gillingham, and I played awful. And I was like, Joe's never gonna play me. And then sort of found my feet and stepped into it. Obviously had a good season. Got called up to Scotland, played my first set of international football. So last year for me was a lot of learning and a lot of progression. And this year really just want to build on that. And I'm not necessarily the young one on the block anymore. There's a few more academy girls that have come up this year. So helping them step into it and try and help them do what I did last year, really.
Yeah, and Blue, I'll bring you in now. We praise Meg a lot on this podcast. Super Megan Waring, of course. What a cracking first season in senior football and such a young age as well. How do you look back at Meg's first season? I don't even think the only maybe one, I wouldn't say negative, was just you're so close to scoring so many times.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at Meg's first season. What a season it was.
Yeah, I think the only thing missing from last season was an overhead kick from the corner.
I did try.
We need like a stat counter of overhead kicks attempted, overhead kicks scored. But it's been a great first season for you. I can't imagine there's many breakthrough seasons which have been better, especially for a centre back, which I feel like as a young player in a defensive position is quite hard to break through. Obviously, a lot of reliance placed on you to be steady and consistent. And that's sometimes hard, especially when you're a young player and having to deal with the new pressures of being in a senior team who's pushing for promotion. There's a lot on your plate. So, yeah, I can't really find fault in the way you've sort of played in terms of last season, consistency-wise, and also off the pitch too. I can see your head growing. But but yeah, on and off the pitch, faultless in the grander scheme. And yeah, just really looking forward to seeing you continue that this season, and hopefully with Scotland too.
Yeah, I felt bad, Meg, not to even mention the Scotland caps, because that is another great achievement. And was that always, once again, you've probably been asked this before already, but was that always the route you were going to go down to, play for Scotland?
Got to be careful now.
Yeah.
To be honest, I've always wanted to play international football. I get on very well with all my Scottish family. We're all very close, and so when the opportunity came, I thought I want to take this with both hands, really. And I've gotten to do a lot of things and go to a lot of beautiful countries. And hopefully this year we go a little bit further in like our competitions, and I get to go to some more beautiful places. But yeah, no, playing for Scotland is a huge honour. Obviously, born in England, but Scotland came calling, so that's where my loyalty's life at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing we spoke about, Blue, wasn't it? About, international football. You've done it yourself, as other players have experienced it. You go to these. Of course, there's some countries maybe not so beautiful. No offense to those countries. I won't name them countries, but yeah, that's another just great experience for such a young age, going to these, playing with friends, teammates, and playing football.
Yeah, it is definitely a great experience, because I think it widens. Although you're getting senior team experience like Meg did last season, you're then getting that exposure on an international stage, but also having to be away playing football for that long and getting that much input is great. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's difficult as well. And I've seen with many players, and even myself at times, where actually it can knock you back before you then step forward again. So it adds another plate to spin. But all in all, I think the outcomes are positive, and like Meg said, you get to visit some great places, you meet some really good footballers, and yeah, you can't turn it down for sure. You cannot turn it down.
Yeah, definitely not. And Meg, let's talk about this pre-season. And how have you approached this pre-season a bit differently to maybe last year? As you said, you were just the new kid on the block. This year, you probably are one of the senior players, even at the age you are. But yeah, you approaching this pre-season a bit differently?
I think other people had higher expectations of me coming into this pre-season. It's that people aren't looking at me going, "Oh, what can she bring? What can she do?" They've seen the level. It's about pushing that level higher, and I think I had those same expectations for myself. I thought I've got to now come in and show that it wasn't just a lucky season, a one season fluke. I was like, I've got to come back in and match this level and go again. And it's just been my main goal. I thought I wanted to come back into this pre-season. Obviously, I had my A-levels going on during the off-season, so I was trying to balance that, trying to balance staying fit, rehabbing a few niggles that I was carrying last season. And yeah, I just was really focused on coming into pre-season and hitting the ground running, because obviously we've got big things to achieve this year. And yeah, how I play at the back is going to have a big influence on that. So yeah.
Yeah, bring it on. And Zeb, of course, you're part of that great defence and just good team performances at the end of the last season, all those clean sheets. We'll get on to, of course, a certain player who was part of that shortly, is some big news about her. But let's sort of segue, Blue, onto pre-season as a whole. 6 games in total, so a lot of games, actually. I think Joe was saying, the most games we've had in pre-season for a while, because, the last few years, because of COVID and stuff, it was sort of hard to get fixtures sorted out. But 6 games. So mixed bag, but some good tests in there.
Yeah, for sure. I think the fact that it was a mixed bag is more a positive at this stage than a negative. If that's our first 6 games of the season, you're slightly worried, but the fact it's pre-season and we've had a real range of opposition as well, from our league, obviously the northern version, to the championship, to tiers below. So it's kind of been a nice variation. I mean, I can't say for myself because I haven't been on the pitch, but I don't know about you, Meg, but this has probably been a really great pre-season to set us up for all the teams that will play in our league.
Yeah, 100%. I think we built confidence where we needed to. I think we were given reality checks where we needed them. And I think just a range of opposition, our league is a difficult league. You don't know what team you're going to get on the weekend when you play them. They could play amazing, they could play awfully. I think our league alone is a real mixed bag, and our pre-season sort of replicated that, and I think it was good for us. Obviously, we've got a few new players in, sort of adjusting to players left, filling those gaps. And so I think this pre-season has been a big one where we've had to gel as a team, find our style again. So I think it's been a very productive pre-season.
And there's been some travelling. Of course, you've gone to Loughborough, you've gone to Derby, Charlton, some behind closed doors games, of course, some games at the training ground. Of course, we had Palace at the AGR Arena, so that was great to be back in Felixstowe. 2-0 defeat. But Meg, that must have been a good experience playing against a Championship side who are solid. I think they finished 4th last year, so a good side. But what was that like playing against them?
Yeah, I think it was a very good game for us. I think we've taken a lot of confidence from that game in a sense that we painted a lot of pictures that we've been working on in training that we want to bring into the league. And I think after Derby, obviously that was a disappointing game. We didn't play very well. We didn't execute our game plan. It was disappointing. I think some of us had looked at each other and been like, we really need to set this up. Like, the season's not far away at all. And so the fact that we were able to do that against a team that was in the tier above, and we didn't look out of place against Palace. 2 mistakes led to their 2 goals. I think we've taken a lot of confidence, and we're bringing all of that into Cardiff for next weekend. Or this weekend, sorry.
Yeah. I'm to be fair, pre-season is just gelling into one now, and then now we're here. The big kickoff is here, which is just crazy to think. And a month ago we're like, oh, come on, kickoff, come on, hurry up! And now it is here, which is great to hear. But Blue, sort of, how would you look back at pre-season? Yeah, sadly you've not been able to play, but you've been able to go to a few games. I want to give a shout out to Nina Mialu, who, I think I said that right. Is that how you say her last name? Always get stick about it. How do you say it, Nick? I know you're close with her.
We got Miolo.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with that as well. But she's been great, of course. This has been her first proper good pre-season, and she made a really good save, but unfortunately, of course, the rebound was scored, but that was a cracking save. But Blue, as a whole, pre-season, it's just good minutes for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just mirroring what Meg said. I think we need to get her on the pod more often, to be honest, Ross. I think she's quite good. I suppose looking at the Crystal Palace game, although I think it was a good performance, there was still areas where we'd probably look back on and say, we really need to improve there. So even though, yes, we look at it good and we painted some good pictures, and the patterns in training have been taken and replicated in a game scenario, there's also bits where we're like, okay, well, we'll adjust this, and how will this look against this team in our league, or how will this look against Cardiff on the first game, or where does this player fit? And we're still doing that at this stage of the season, which I think is really good. The fact we're not content, and we're still trying to be productive with that. But all in all, I think when you compare it to last year's pre-season, this has set us up so much better. And we know how last season started. So hopefully the prep this year has been a lot better. Therefore, that then shows in the first few games. Fingers crossed. Well, that's how it should work in my head.
Yeah, and I want to quickly praise you, Meg, for your kit to boot combo, because I'm looking at a picture quickly now, and I like your boot. I think you're up there with one of my favourite boots. I think Summer Hughes is up there as well. Good old Summer. But I love the combo with the orange kit. Of course, we're wearing out. What do you like that? Do you like the orange kit?
I do. I think it tops the home kit. If I'm honest, I do really like the orange.
Yeah, it really does stand out. And a lot of people go, it's part of it is a Twitter page called Kit Crimes, or it's called X now, isn't it? Twitter, formerly Twitter. But Kit Crimes, of course. We were the home team wearing an away kit, but I think Palace didn't have their away kit in order just yet. But it looks good. I'm looking forward to seeing the players wear that throughout. And of course, the goalkeeping kit for the away kit, the grey, black, that's good as well. And I think the players, the goalkeepers, like them. And that sort of segues nicely, actually, onto a new signing. But before that, we've got a nice little audio clip from Maddie Reader speaking to Nina after the game about pre-season as a whole, the fans, and all that sort of stuff. So check it out.
Well, Nina, a 2-0 defeat here. How do you assess that game?
Defeat, but as a team, we've given it all. It was a challenge for us, all of us individually and as a team, to be fair. But this will be a stepping stone, and this will give us more confidence when we move into the season.
And how do you think pre-season has gone as a whole? I mean, you guys face many different sides, Charlton, Crystal Palace in the Championship, Loughborough, a few divisions down. So you faced a mixture of teams.
Yes, we did. Pre-season was good. Was a good challenge. Different teams came up with different opponents, different levels, different intensity. But that's what we need. We need challenges. We need to always keep learning as a team, and that will keep us moving.
And what's the mood of the camp at the moment? But coming into a really big start of the season against Cardiff.
Yeah, we're very confident. Like I said, we'll have this week of good intensity of training, good same mindset, same attitude from the girls and staff, and I'm sure we'll be more than ready to go.
And how do you feel working with Poppy Soper and Paul, the goalkeeping coach?
Yes, it's been great. Obviously, having Poppy come into our team, she's a great player, and Paul, obviously, he has done a lot for us, for me as well. And yeah, he's a great coach. Always keeps developing me as more I can.
And finally, just note the fans, 290 here. I mean, week in, week out, last season they're here, and it's great to be back at the AGL, wasn't it?
Yes, it's incredible. Hopefully more fans will come along during the season. But yeah, we're always thankful for our fans, and we'll hopefully put up a good performance week in, week out for them.
Okay, back. Thanks for Maddie for sorting that out. And let's get on to then some new signing. The sexy stuff that people say, they want signings, more to come. So stay tuned, everybody. We understand there's going to be more signings. So there's fans out there who are like going, oh no, we're going to do bad this season because we're not making signs. We've lost loads of players. But do not worry. Joe and the team are working hard. Do not worry. There'll be signings in the door. But one is through the door. Of course, Maisie, of course, has signed. But Poppy Soper has signed on loan from Charlton. Blue, quick thoughts on that. She's tall, which is good. But so far, I've been impressed by her.
Yeah, no, that was going to be my first comment, how tall she is. She's really tall. And also she's got a Welsh accent, which I quite like. It's quite a nice accent. But yeah, no, she's pulled off some really good saves during this pre-season. So I haven't been to a few of the pre-season games, the away ones. But I'm looking forward to seeing her more within season. And also I think it provides Nina with a great challenge. You mentioned the save against Palace on Sunday, which was unbelievable. So yeah, we've got two great keepers in the ranks, which is good to see, and I'm sure Meg is also happy with that.
Yeah, Meg, let's talk about your new goalkeeper. Of course, Sarah will get on to shortly. But yeah, what's that been like having Poppy in the sticks? Of course, Nina as well. They're going to have a nice little battle between them. But what's that like as a defender having someone like that in goal?
Well, obviously, big shoes to fill with Quantz leaving. But Poppy and both Nina have come into this pre-season with competition's always going to drive standards. I think in training, some of the saves, both of them are pulling out. You just think, how on earth? But you can see them going at it. One pulls off one, and 2 minutes later, Nina's now pulled off a brilliant save. So I think the competition is brilliant. They both get on very well. We all get on really well as a team all together. So I just think Poppy's come in, she's fit in brilliantly. She's a lovely girl, and I think coming into our team, we play a difficult system in the sense that it requires a lot technically in possession. And I think she's come in and she's getting her head around it, and she's making strides in it and doing very well. And then obviously Nina, one of my closest friends, played with each other in the academy, and then both stepping onto the pitch in senior football. Like, it's just little moments like that are sort of special. When you first joined, you were like, we'll get there, and now all those things are starting to fall into place, and it's just like special moments like that in football just always feel nice,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, coming through the academy together and then stepping on the pitch and making your debuts and just first team appearances. That's always great. And a quick little just for the listeners, Blue. Let's just quickly round off Poppy's career as a whole so far. She's 21. Started her career at Cardiff, native Wales, as you mentioned. Of course, she's also played at this level before with Plymouth, and she's actually played against us. And she probably won't be happy for me to mention this game.
Let's not mention it. Let's skip past that bit.
Okay.
We were just very good. We were untouchable.
Yeah, we're good. Home Park. I think you must have played in that game. Did you play in that game?
I did indeed. Oh, sorry. You might as well.
You take it anywhere. I can't remember.
Yeah, we'll pass it because I think when I did her signing pictures, I mentioned that because I went, I was looking through and I mentioned it, and she was like, "Yeah, I tried to forget about that. You were very good, Ipswich were very good that day, and that was it." So we'll pass across from that. But of course, she was at Chelsea at the time. She was like a dual registration with Plymouth. So of course, she's been at Chelsea. She's been called up to the senior level for Wales, not yet capped yet, but you never know. But yeah, Poppy Soper, new number 1. Now let's go on to actually squad numbers then, Meg and Blue, because that's always the number box to tick in pre-season, pre-season games, new signings, but also squad numbers. The fixtures are out and all that. But let's go and look at the squad numbers. I'm going to bring them up and we're going to sort of talk about the key ones. So yeah, Poppy is new number 1. Boz is still number 2. I'm going to say her full name just for Kieran and probably for you girls as well. Summer Hughes. I don't know why that's hilarious, but apparently it is. Blue, you're at number 4 still. You happy about that?
Yeah, I'll take that, Ross.
Take that.
I'll take that.
Yeah, Bonnie is number 5, and now number 6, which of course was vacated by Lucy Egan, who's having a break from football. So all the best to Luce. But yeah, Liam Mitchell is new number 6, who's been fantastic in pre-season, by the way. Been really impressed by her. She made a few cameos last season, but she really has impressed me. And what's she been like, Meg? And we'll get on to your number shortly. But yeah, what's Leah been like, playing alongside her?
Leah's a brilliant player. Technically, she's second to none. And I think herself and me were the duo in the academy. So it's the same thing again, sort of got Nina behind me, Leah next to me, sort of we're all transitioning. So playing alongside her is brilliant. At the end of the Palace game, me and her were just having a little chat, sort of talking through the game. And she was just like, I just enjoy playing next to you. And I was like, yeah, it's just good that we're all on the pitch getting minutes and sort of taking these next steps in our career together.
Yeah, I think when I went into the dressing room and I saw the numbers up, because I think that's the first time, you had your names this season anyway on the kits, because I think, that's just when you went, when pre-season is done, when you got names on shirts. And when I saw number 6, and I sort of asked Kieran, so Leah must be in the plans this season, playing games, and I think, yeah, she's going to be up there. And yeah, that was vacated, Meg, but you've decided to stick number 20. Any reason for that?
I like the number 20, it was the number I first had last season when I sort of stepped up. The number I would like in the future is number 5, but Bonnie has got a claim to that number and she's wearing that number, so I'm holding out for that number 5. And you know what, Leah's got the quality to wear that number 6, she can have that. But I quite like the number 20. I might keep it. I'm not sure yet. I'm undecided.
Yeah, it's a nice round number, isn't it? Just looks good as well. And it is a defender's number, I think. It is a defender's number. Like,
I think it could be anything, really.
Yeah, I think it can. It can be a midfielder. Could be a fullback. Once again, I'm not one of those squads. Like, I think there's some people like Kieran and other people. I think they know certain positions that they can't be that certain number. Like a striker can't have the number 2 or something, which is mad. I think William Gallas actually. I think it was Arsenal. We had number 10. So just I know Meg, you're an Arsenal fan, so I think you were number 10 and he's a defender. That's not a defender's number.
Yeah.
We're going to
it's like Rachel Daly, if anyone's watching the Women's World Cup at the minute, which I'm hoping you all are. Rachel Daly's playing left back and wearing number 9. And every time I see it, I just think how much that is annoying, Kieran. Yeah.
I think once again, he's one of the men behind this in terms he sort of skates up. Would you like this number? Would you like that? And I think if someone goes, I want, any number, that would go, no, that is not that position. But I think at the moment, I'm looking for it now again. Of course, Tash is number 7. I don't know that if that is for me, I don't think that's a striker's number in my opinion. I think it's an attacker, but more of like a winger. I don't think it's like a striker.
Yeah, but if Tash changed from number 7, it would be weird. Yeah, it just couldn't happen.
No, it wouldn't. So yeah, Tash, do not worry if you're listening. I'm not taking that number away from you. I just feel it needs to be like number 9, which we'll get onto shortly. But of course, we've got a new number 8, and I think this suits to the T, and that is of course Kai Robson, Super Robbo, number 8, which is fantastic. Then we've got a new number 9, of course, replacing Maddie Biggs, and that is Holly Turner at number 9. That is, of course, a proper. She suits that number as well to the T as well, Blue. Number 9. Any thoughts on those two numbers? We're getting really deep with these squad numbers because why not? Meg, you got any thoughts on this as well?
Do I have anything? No, it's just good to fill up the 1 to 11. I think.
Meg doesn't start then because she's 20. So
that's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying.
yeah, well,
if that were the case, I'd be starting.
Yeah. So happy days.
Actually, you know what? Let's do that.
Yeah. Well, actually, let's take a look. Actually, so yeah, in a way, yeah, we've got all the positions there. That means maybe Bon will have to drop into defence, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, we're not saying that. But yeah, Holly's got number 9. EK, of course, number 10. EK 10 all day long. Lucy O'Brien's got a new number though, of course. She was previously number 15, but she's now number 11, which is I think that suits her as well. Good number. Nina, of course, still number 13, your standard goalkeeper number as well. Nia has changed her number, just one shorter. I think it's shorter, or just gone down to 15. She was 16 before. We'll have to ask her any reasons. I think maybe 15 is a nice, just round number. Maybe she likes number 5, and she's gone. I go, what? Meg, you could have done 15. Would you add 15 if you could, 5 or not?
I'm not sure. I don't know. There's something about 15 that just doesn't appeal to me.
That's fine. Because once again, some people, they probably don't care. Just, I don't mind whatever number to put on my back. But sometimes if it's your favourite number, your birthday or whatever, it works.
I think 15 suits Nia though. I see it as a Nia number.
Yeah,
she's had that, I think, at all her previous clubs. So I think she's following the chain, keeping it.
Yeah, why not? That's another thing. If you've been at another club and if you don't see that number vacate, you're like, oh, come on, switch with me, please. Let me switch. But yeah, she's been able to get it this year because, of course, Lucy O'Brien's moved to 11. Pescott, of course, is still 17. So there's some numbers there. You still got 40. You got 14, which is a good number. You got 16 still available. 18, 19 available. Of course, Meg, number 20. Happy days. Of course, new signing Maisie Barker is number 21. I think that's a good fullback winger's number. So solid number for her. Then, of course, two of the other young players, Evie Williams, who's also impressed me pre-season. So shout out to you, Evie. She's got number 22. And Abby Smith has got 23. So that rounds up the squad numbers. Any other thoughts on that? Yeah? Any other thoughts?
No other thoughts, I don't think, Ross. I think we've covered that in some detail, which is good.
Yeah, I think Kieran would enjoy that. So there we go. One for you, Kieran. One for the squad number people out there. So yeah. Now, let's chat then about some departures that are already departed, but who have now signed for new clubs. We're going to start off with Meg's been a great guest, but this was a great guest last season who we're just laughing all day. And of course, that is Liv Smith, who is, of course, going to be joining a league rival and joins up with Maddie Biggs at Billericay. Thoughts on that, Blue? Liv going to be playing against us next season? Oh, maybe, hopefully not. Maybe she's going to be too busy with her policing and but I think she'll be up for this. Maybe she'll want to be playing against us, most likely.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll show up against us. But yeah, obviously we didn't see as much of Liv as we'd liked last season. We had Meg to step in anyway, so that's all right. But yeah, she's obviously very committed to work with the police, as we heard through a few stories when she was on the pod. And yeah, hopefully it will suit her better and suit her commitments better, and she enjoys it. Obviously got a familiar face with Biggs there, which I'm sure will be nice. But yeah, I'm sure we'll look forward to coming up against her and putting a few goals past her.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we're going to be, of course, playing them, Billericay in the Cup after the Cardiff game. So it's a quick turnaround in terms of facing former faces. So that's going to be good to see. Let's talk then, Meg, about Sarah Quantrill, our old number 1. Of course, she said she wanted to take time away from football. And maybe a lot of us are surprised to hear she's going to sign for a rival. Of course, not in our division, but the division below, of course, joining Norwich City. But we all know she's a Norwich fan. She's based in Norfolk, so maybe not a big surprise. Maybe she knows some players who play for Norwich as well. But yeah, thoughts on that, Meg, and just thoughts on Sarah as a whole, because, what a keeper and just what a great person as well.
Well, if we take away the club that she signed for, I mean, as a, you can't fault Quant as a person. She's so nice. When I first came into the first team, trying to settle into this back line, she was always supportive, helped me where I needed help, spoke to me. She's a mature, like she's been in the game forever, It was always wise for me to listen to her. I was really disappointed when I found out that she was, taking the time away. I think was invaluable to our team. You saw the performances from last year, but when I saw that announcement of Norwich, I thought, Quants, really? But you can't hate Quants. So I don't like the team she signed for, but if it works better for her, the same with Liv, really. If it fits better with your commitments, then I can't, you can't hate Quant. She's a lovely person. So all the best to her. Just hopefully she doesn't do too well for them, because I never really want to see Norwich winning, but...
Yeah, well said. And of course, 2 back-to-back Golden Gloves, some great clean sheet records, some amazing saves, the penalty shootout against Southampton Blue, some amazing saves. But yeah, she's joined the dark side, as we call it, which, do I mention it, Blue? Because you once upon a time were part of the dark side, but you're a young kid, so you're allowed that. Sarah, she's in her 30s now, but for her to continue to play football, and that's where she's based, it's probably just the ideal move for her. Of course, there's also an academy player who's joined, and you'll know her, Meg. Of course, Lauren Hales has signed there as well, but I think she's based in Norwich, isn't she? So, yeah, but it'd be great if we come up against them, maybe in the cup. We've been waiting, haven't we, for years? I think it has been probably 5 years now since we last played. It's definitely been a while. That'd be
been
perfect.
less than 5 years.
Is it? I don't know. It feels a long while. COVID just extends it, doesn't it? Just
Yeah, something like that. I feel a bit hypocritical commenting on her move to Norwich in the position I am. Obviously, I've seen the good side now, but I think as much as we do or we don't want her to do well for that team, I think she will do very well for them, and I can understand it from a commitment point of view. And it becomes slightly different when it's men's versus women's football, because obviously Quant has a job outside of this. She lives Norwich way, her job's Norwich way, and probably the age she's at, she just wants something closer. But yeah, what a way to go out in terms of 2 Golden Gloves. And do I wish her all the best? I wish her as a person all the best. There we go.
Yeah, not the colours she's wearing. Yeah, I think that's fine. Not the colours she's wearing. Because, it's just when you see your former player hold up that shirt. But once again, it doesn't happen that often. Definitely in men's football. Definitely Ipswich players going to Norwich or vice versa. So, but yeah, all the best to Sarah, just as a person, but playing side. Yeah, because, Anyway, let's segue. Before we get into trouble, but all the best anyway. Of course, another former player has joined Championship side. We've got a few former players playing the Championship next year, which is great to see. Of course, Abby Lafayette has joined Watford, of course, her hometown club. So I'm sure that must be a dream move for her. I think she played there when she was a kid, but she signed, of course, there. So I think now we've got Laf, Anna, of course, who joined Lewis with Sarah Brazera Carrera. And of course, we've got Paige Peake at Southampton. So you've got 4 players who have come through our academy as well, playing in the Championship. So I'm sure Joe must be really pleased with that. Is that sad, Meg, to see Sarah leave? Now a close friend of yours, but she's going to be playing Championship football.
Yeah, it was obviously, she's my best friend, but when she told me, I thought, Sarah is someone who's driven and just won't stop until she reaches the goal she wants to reach to. So I understood it, talked to her all the time. She's loving life. She scored, I think, 2 weekends ago. She's loving the life of being a professional footballer. And so I think fair play to her. And I've got no doubt that she'll go on and do brilliant things this season. And I think I miss, Maisie has obviously come in and taken a number 21. So I've got someone new sitting next to me in the changing room now. And I said to Maisie, you've got big shoes to fill. But yeah, no, I think, hopefully Sarah has a brilliant season and just keeps continuing to strive, really.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I didn't mention that actually. Yeah, of course, Maisie replacing Sarah's number. And I like to see what Maisie put on her Instagram. I think this was her first pre-season. She's had in 3 years. I think the 90 minutes she played against Palace was the first 90 minutes she's done for a long while. So that must have been, great to see Blue, someone who's, of course, had injuries as well. Like to see a player like that, make that first full 90 minutes and also have a pre-season, injury free.
Yeah, for sure. Especially how she's joined a new club. I can imagine the worries in her mind where she's like, oh, I just need to stay fit, new sort of fresh start. So yeah, amazing to get 90 minutes and built quite a good sort of match load going into the season and got herself into a really good position. So she's going to be a big asset for us. Obviously, we've talked a lot about outgoings, but also her coming in, which I think we mentioned on the previous pod, is a really big asset for us. She's rapid and all round a really nice person as well.
Yeah, definitely. And another player I want to quickly mention who we've really mentioned, I think, podcasts ago last season. But of course, Zoe Barrett has joined Oxford. So that'll be another form of fate. Of course, she was at MK, of course, the team we play anyway, but she's now joined another promotion rival. So that's going to be another face to try to beat. Basically, we love you, Bazza, but we're gonna beat you. That's the plan when we play Oxford, of course. But the season does start this Sunday, which is always exciting. Of course, a long trip to Cardiff, but South Wales is a lovely part of the world, Cardiff, and a newly promoted team, but a team we know of as well, Blue, because we've played them before at this level. In our first season, of course, at this level, back in 21-22 season, we first played them back in August of that season. We beat them 1-0. We'll quickly get up the goal scorer just for people. Maddie Biggs actually came off the bench and scored in that game. So there we go. Good old Biggsy getting the goal. And then we went away to their place. And this was in the middle of the circus that was the West Ham game and everything. But we beat them 3-0 at their place. Anna scored twice. And Bazza actually scored in that game. And it was sort of in the middle. Well, basically, we had the Southampton penalty shootout win. We had Bridgewater away, then Cardiff away, and then we had West Ham at home, live on BBC, of course. So that was a crazy few weeks. But Cardiff Blue to kick off the season. Yeah,
not really sure what to expect, but a nice long away trip, which I actually think presents a good opportunity for. I think the girls will stay overnight in a hotel, so there'll be a long trip down for team bonding and then a stay over in the hotel, which always helps. So a good sort of experience to start off with, albeit a long weekend. But yeah, I think it's an opportunity to get our season started and come up against a team which we didn't play last season. So a fresh team and who will be hungry. So we'll have to earn the right to win the game and hopefully, start the season off well.
Yeah, and Poppy, of course, will be playing her former team. So, of course, she's going to be well up for it. I think when she signed, she got asked that question, and I think she's like, "Yep, great opportunity to see my family. Be able to go down there and see family." So that's probably good for her. But Meg, I hate to go past old ground, but of course, last year we started not great. But we've got we're going to go around that. We're not going to go past that now. We're going to get rid of that. But I know I've just mentioned it. But let's not talk about it anyway. But Meg, how are you feeling for this one? First big season for us to kick off straight away.
Well, I think last season taught us the importance of starting well. So I think obviously the ones who were here last year know the importance of this game. We need to just set ourselves up, build our confidence, start the campaign strong. But just really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having games that have a bit of pressure on them again, really playing a game that's driving towards something. And I think all of us within the training ground, the changing room, we just want to get out there and get playing. And I think we all miss that slightly. And I think this weekend will just be brilliant experience. Obviously, new girls get to go away with everyone, sort of bond, play some games, have some good chats, and then get out there and do the job on the Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. I'm hoping it's better weather this time because last time we were there, it absolutely chucked it down and I got very wet and all the players got wet. But they were wearing the white kit, the white away kit that season. It looked superb. I loved it. I just loved that kit. So I don't know what kit we're going to wear this year. I don't know if we clash because Cardiff they're not the main Cardiff team, are they? I think they're like an independent Cardiff team. So I think they wear red and white, I think. So we'll probably wear blue. So that's not. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out on the day, of course. But blue. It's the Ocean Park Arena, 2 p.m. kickoff. How are you feeling going into the new season? Box ticks now, pre-season done, squad numbers are out, fixtures are out. Here we go. Season kicks off. How are you feeling for it?
I sense within the team there's a calmness about the task ahead, but also equally an awareness of the challenge that is in front of us and actually the work that it's going to take. So you experience what you did last season and see how much work that took, and we didn't achieve what we wanted to. So it's now going to take more, and I think we've got players who, like Meg, have taken that season to mature. And now coming into this season, a lot sort of stronger on the pitch, but also experienced off the pitch in terms of dealing with certain emotions where things don't say go your way or things do go your way, and sort of leveling that so you're never too high or too low. Consistency is the most important thing in this league, and I think we all very much know that now and have definitely got better, more effective ways of doing that. And that's from the staff to the players to, everyone involved. So I'm hoping that this season we can execute that. And yeah, just generally very excited. Like Meg said, I can relate to that really well. It's nice to have that pressure back because I think you do miss it after a while. And it probably takes it going away until you realise that you miss that competitive environment where you're going for something which is a bigger picture. So yeah, I think the prep has been great. The support, sort of in terms of what we've been provided as players, has never been better for us at Ipswich Town Women. So yeah, we've got all the tools. It's now just about applying it, but also applying it in the right circumstances and managing things, because it's never going to be perfect. So really looking forward to the challenge and all the little puzzle pieces we're going to have to put together to make this season a good one.
Well said, Blue. Well said. Meg, I'm going to put you on a spot here, but maybe not. Actually, it's not the hardest question in the world, but I've probably put it in the question right now, your answer. But any goals for this season for yourself? Do you do goals? Do you just go into a season and go, yep, do what I can do? But any goals?
Well, I think everyone knows one is to finally get my first goal. I think the other day in pre-season, I was saying, we get about 4 corners a game. I should be scoring at least a goal every 4 games. So that's going to rack up to a few goals if I can stick to that. But at least one, and I think I'll be happy with that. I just think there are specific ones, but obviously I won't bore you with the details. But just I think building on last season and really flourishing in my role as centre half as more of a leader, taking on responsibilities. I can see majority of the pitch compared to other people and just really sort of stepping into that leadership role. And last year was difficult, not reaching promotion. So on that pitch, knowing that when we're, say, under the cosh, just holding it out, leading people, helping them through, like helping us tick boxes that last year we didn't tick, that resulted in us, not winning the league. So I think just really taking on a more of a leadership role, particularly for me this year.
That's good. That's good to hear. And let's of course shout out where we're going to go. So the Ocean Park Arena, 2 p.m. kickoff. So if you're down that neck of the woods, or if you fancy travelling it, safe journey. Enjoy it. Cheer on the girls. Is it the same day as the potential of the World Cup final? I think it's the same day potentially, or that morning. So we'll know if. Well, England, of course, got a semi-final game to play, and you maybe listen to this when that game's already done. So fingers crossed, they could be in a final, and that day we could be seeing them Lionesses lifting the trophy and then us getting our first 3 points. But we won't go too ahead of ourselves. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've got a bit of a task, Blue, that day because the men, of course, have got QPR on the Saturday, and I'm going to be travelling on a train to Newport. I think that's where we're staying on the Saturday. And I think Ben Pewey, one of the coaches, of course, at the Ipswich Town Women's team, I think I'm travelling with him down the train to Newport. So hopefully that goes all smoothly. And then, get ready for the game on Sunday. So, bring it on. But, Blue, any other business, anything else you want to mention?
Yes. I want to shout out. I hope he's listening. I think he will be. Not sure, though. But Jack, our sports psychologist, and I'm not sure I've mentioned on the previous pod, I can't remember, but if so, this is a double shout out. Went through a foot surgery a few weeks ago. So just on behalf of everyone, we wish him a speedy recovery and hope to see him soon. But yeah, what a guy Jack is. I miss Jack.
Dr.
Jack. Sorry, Dr. Jack. Dr. Jack.
That's his title.
Thank you for correction. Yeah.
That's fine. It's fine. But no, yeah, big up Jack. Always great to see him. And yeah, best of luck with your recovery and all that. And that must have been great, Meg, having like someone like Jack to talk to, you know, at such a young age. Just someone to talk to after maybe, I won't say you didn't have many bad performances, but maybe just, you know, a mistake or whatever. Once again, I'm not saying you'd had mistakes, but just having that.
Oh, Jack was massive for me last year. I think I spoke to Jack a fair bit. You know, there was times where I felt there were dips in my performance or certain things I just was working on but couldn't get right. And I think I had many a conversation with Jack implementing methods to help me sort of let go of mistakes, reset and go again. And I think a big part of my success last year was probably down to Jack and his input. So when he comes back, when he's all recovered, I will be the first one who has a smile on their face to see him back.
Nice one. Big shout out to you, Jack, if you're listening. I think he does listen. I think he's one of our big supporters. So up the Jack Mitchell. Dr. Jack Mitchell.
Dr. Jack Mitchell, yeah.
Yeah, love that. I want to also give a shout out to actually your new sponsor, Megan, because Ginger Pickle is a friend of our show. He's a friend of the main podcast. He actually sponsors our main flagship show, but now he's your sponsor. Tony Southgate and the team, all your Google needs and all that. But yeah, he's your sponsor this season. I think he's actually sponsoring one of the games this season. So yeah, big shout out to you, Tony, because I know he's listening. But that must be nice having a new sponsor this season. And I think that's actually, I don't think you had a sponsor last season, which was just ridiculous. But this year you've got Tony there supporting you, but that must be good.
Yeah, no, I had a chat with him earlier today. I'm looking forward to. He said he's going to be there at the first home game. I think he's sponsoring that game as well. Just to have a chat with him, and yeah, my first sponsor, another first for me. So yeah, it'll be good to get to know him. And yeah,
definitely. Yeah, big up Ginger Pickle, big up Tony Southgate, and of course we've got our sponsor John Fowler Solicitors. Mark Kennedy also sponsoring 2 players this year. Of course, Maria Boswell and Poppy Soper. He likes his goalkeepers. He does. He of course sponsored Sarah last year. He's a goalkeeper himself, so of course he's going to sponsor a goalkeeper. That's a given, basically. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. Well, Meg, thanks for joining us. Blue, thanks for having me once again to host the show, and you be the co-host and all that. And thanks for doing this so late. We're recording this late, not too late, just in case Nikki's listening. So is that another thing you have to do? Like, did you get told like bedtime? I won't say bedtimes because you're adults, but because of, you know, athletes and all that, is there times you need to go to bed to make sure you get your 8 hours and all that?
we before every training we have to fill out a little readiness form which says, you know, how many hours of sleep did you get, what was the quality of the sleep, so that, and if it is poor, Nicola will come to you before training like, why was that so low? And sometimes she does get on your case, but yeah, Nicola's brilliant. So
yeah, love that. Well, Blue, take it away. Outro as you always do. Go away.
Perfect. Meg, you have been a great guest. I'm sure we'll have to get you on in season as well for a little update. I've actually just searched up when the A-level results days are, which is coming up soon. So best of luck with that. I'm sure you're happy I'm bringing that up for you. But yeah, once again, hope you've enjoyed the podcast, everyone listening. And I'm sure we'll catch you soon after the first game of the season.